Midwest Record Storage. That's the correct name?
That is.
Yes. And Diane was telling us, beginning to tell us, about how she cultivates suspects or clients.
Right.
And you go through phone books and records, and you're looking for, you're always on the alert for new businesses that are starting up.
Yes.
And let them know of your services. What would be the smallest client that you have, not physically, that would be me.
Y'all have to stand by the door. We're going to measure you on the yard.
But in scope of size of business and so forth, I know you go to the large Abraham Lincoln Memorial Hospital. It's got to generate tons of records, that type of thing. What would be the smallest type of business that you might accommodate?
We take any size. It doesn't matter. That's when I do my sales pitch. It doesn't matter how big or small you are. Get started on a good records management program. I mean, the smaller the better. The easier it is to manage initially. So, so I have clients with literally 5 boxes that want to start a record storage program, and then from there they've grown. Now they've been with me for 15 years and have over 1,000. So
I'm kind of a back to basics type person, I guess. The thing that always seems imperative to me is to know how many people you employ, and you did tell me that you will be picking up others as time goes by. You know, there are an awful lot of people in this world, this corner of the world, who don't have a job. Things are tough. Now, the recession ended a year ago in June. I'm sure you'd be glad to know that.
Yes,
but,
I was interested to see
I think
that.
you should explain that to the people who are losing their home and the people who have no job. You employ how many, and what's the prognosis for the future?
we have 12 right now, which we're operating basically. 2 of those are part-time. We have drivers that all they do is drive. We have couriers that drive all over central Illinois and everywhere in between to deliver records and media tapes. They're always, as we grow, we just added on our new facility, our new 16,000 square foot facility adjacent to our original facility back a couple years ago. So we added a couple more people. The busier we get, the more services that we can offer, the more people we'll need. So
right. Who's in charge of thinking up new services? Is that on your other duties as assigned?
That's where my trade associations come in. So I really depend on them. Prism International is a association I belong to where we abide by all of their professional guidelines for operating and owning a commercial record center, such as myself. That organization has about 800 members all across the country. I attend conferences. I'm running for the board of directors this year for that organization, International.
Good for you.
And ARMA International is Association of Records Managers and Administrators. It's all record center, record professionals in every industry. That association has 11,000 members. And I'm currently serving on the awards committee, the program committee, and I'm also going to be, I'm also running for a web development for them.
You know, those things certainly must give you tremendous sources for networking, since we're using that word this morning.
Yes, that is what I do. I network wherever I go. Like I was telling you earlier, I love my job, so I could talk about it all day long, every day, to everybody who will listen. So,
well, that's what makes
all fathers would like to have an employee like that, let me tell you.
Well, yeah, my dad would have liked that.
Oh, yeah, I reckon. May I ask, is it proper to ask, what would it be to store, say, 5 boxes, and is it on an annual fee?
It's a monthly. We can set it up anyway, but it's a monthly fee.
I see.
Any services that if you needed to request a file, or you needed to, buy boxes, or whatever the case may be, that's additional kind of a la carte services. But every month, everybody who's storing boxes, either storing electronically with me or boxes, has a monthly storage fee. And I typically commercial centers around everywhere. We sell, our major selling point is we can typically store it for you less expensive than what you're storing it for in-house. Streamline your record keeping process. Your employees, you're paying your employees umpteen amount of per hour, and we can do it. We can store it even with the services for a lot less expensive than you can do it in-house. So,
what, without naming the the size of, or the client, what would be the largest client that you have insofar as volume is concerned?
We have on two different arenas. We on our electronic backup side of our business, our online backup, which means all of your data, instead of going on media tapes, it's stored in the virtual cloud, which is the new buzzword, Cloud 2.0 technology. They have 1 terabyte of data, which is 1,068 gigabytes.
All right, now let's bring that down to how many words?
And that is on a compressed on compressed data. So that on that arena, for the record storage side, we have about, one client has around 11,000 boxes.
My goodness gracious.
And on the tape rotation side for our disaster recovery program for companies, for a large insurance company, we store about, I think they have about 10,000 tapes.
Now, do you have governmental bodies as clients as well?
Yes.
So they would have to, in fact, as they develop their budgets, they have to factor that in each year as they develop the annual budget. It's going to cost us X number of dollars to store these records, boys and girls.
Right.
Well, since you store for governmental entities, are you responsible to any governmental entities? Excuse me. It seems to me that we all are. You know, we have some words here that we aren't supposed to use still, don't we?
It's 2 now.
Is it down to 2?
Down to about 2 anymore.
When I started in this business, it was quite a list.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so the government is in there helping us all. And I trust you have to report to someone that you promise you're following HIPAA and that you promise you're doing whatever you're doing. Tell us who regulates you and to what degree?
Well, we aren't really a regulated. We abide by the principles of our trade associations.
Okay.
We are Department of Agriculture. We, ironically
Surely
enough,
you jest.
we fall in under those guidelines for being a commercial record center. We're kind of a niche business, so we have to be compliant with the state of Illinois for the Illinois Department of Agriculture.
They check your corn crop then?
They check behind us, next to us, yes, to make sure that, we have OSHA requirements we deal with every day. We have HIPAA compliance we deal with on the privacy side. It's my job to follow through with all of that to make sure that we're compliant with our insurance, to make sure our workers' comp is up to date, make sure our insurance policies are covering every entity of our business. So from the hard copy to the electronic side.
That's a major factor in your overhead would be insurance costs, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yes.
That's when you stop to think about that, you have a major responsibility to your clients, especially an operation such as Judy's hospital. Do you have other hospitals as clients?
Yes, we have several major hospitals around the area, without giving any names.
Well, no, we don't need to know that. But there's a privacy factor there, of course. But do you have a daily or a frequent request from hospitals to dig up some records from the past?
Oh, yes. I have.
On a frequent basis. Interesting.
For one client in particular in town, we're there several times a day. Other clients give us their boxes or whatever they want to give us. We can also store EEGs. We store anything that we can fit in a box that is an actual commercial, that is a record.
You sure know all buzzwords for for the technological side of our lives, don't you? That must be an awfully big part.
It took me a while to get up to speed on that. It's taken me about 5 years to get up to speed on what my clients already know and what my prospects already know or are going to know. So it's my job to educate them.
So you're a computer guru on the one hand, and on another hand, you're a wife and mother and the box lady.
And the box lady.
Yes. And you have to almost be an attorney too, don't you, to keep up with all the laws. For instance, we keep talking about OSHA and HIPAA and all the others. You have to know exactly what's going on within every one of those entities, don't you?
Yes.
This has been a very interesting morning, Mrs. Busby. A little-known business out there in Illinois 10 on the west side of town. Very interesting to know how sophisticated that is. We always we appreciate one of the more comely graduates of Southern Illinois University being with us this morning.
Yes.
We appreciate Diane Swack's presence and her input as to what's going on in Midwest storage business. We always try to close Viewpoint with a little quotation. And Judy, I think this might be pretty appropriate with our dear friend Joyce Kinsey. I don't know who Samuel Smiles was, but old Sam said, "Life will always be, to a large extent, what we ourselves make it." Thank you for Viewpoint.